Révision.
Hi guys, so welcome back to the 600 words, les 600 mots. So we're gonna see, well, some more words, actually, in fact, so from 15 to 28 today. But first, we're gonna do some revisions. So take a piece of paper, take a pen, come on, do it. Are you ready? I'm gonna ask you to translate these words. So I'm gonna give the words in French and you're gonna translate back into your language. Could be English, could be any other language, no problem. But be ready. Le monde. Le monde. Le temps. Le temps. Libre. Libre. Avoir. Avoir. Pousser. Pousser. 5 words in French. Translate them back. Now I'm gonna give them in English and you're gonna translate them back in French. Money. 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 And write if it's masculine or feminine as well, yeah? So money. To go. So the verb to go. A mistake. A mistake. The future. The future. To be. The verb to be. Okay, see you in the next part.
Présentation. Prononciation.
Hi, so I'm gonna show you the new words. So some 5 as usual, 5 verbs, 2 adjectives, and 7 nouns. So the 5 verbs are finir, rendre, suivre, sortir, and disparaître. Finir, finir, rendre, rendre, suivre, suivre, sortir et disparaître. So disparaître. Then we have 2 adjectives. Ancien, ancien est différent. Ancien est différent. And then we have 7 nouns. Nuit, plaisir, départ, droit, terre, place, bois. So nuit, don't pronounce the last T, you know, Thomas rule, don't pronounce the last letter, nuit. So it's feminine, it's la nuit. Then we have plaisir, le plaisir. Then we have départ, don't pronounce the last letter, départ. Le départ, masculine. Then we have droit, droit, don't pronounce the last T, droit. Masculine, le droit. Then we have terre, terre. Don't pronounce that, so it's not terrain, it's terre. La terre, feminine. Then we have place. Careful, this is not place, it's place. So French accent, place. La place, feminine. And then we have bois, don't pronounce the last S, bois, masculine, le bois. La nuit, le plaisir, le départ, le droit, la terre, la place, le bois. Okay, see you in the next part.
Définition. Explication.
Hi, so now we're going to see the definition and the explanation. So I'm going to try to explain what these words mean. So the first one, finir, it's a verb. Finir means to finish. So exactly like in English, when you finish something, finir, finish. Rendre, rendre is the idea of to give back. So someone gave you something, you give it back. Rendre. Finir, by the way, is a second group verb. So the conjugation follows the second group. So we have three groups in French. This is the second. Rendre is the third one, so the conjugation is a bit irregular. Rendre. Suivre is to follow. So if you follow something, if you follow someone, suivre. Sortir means to go out or to exit. So sortir. And disparaître, to disappear. So like in English, disappear, disparaître. Then we have two adjectives. The first one is ancien, which means that means old or former, and différent, that means different. So ancien, that's the masculine version. The feminine version, you add an e, and an e. So it becomes ancienne, ancienne. So masculine, you add ne and you got the feminine version. Ancien, ancienne. And you add an s for both of them if you want plural version. Différent, you don't pronounce the t here, but if you have a feminine version, then you add an e, so therefore you pronounce the t, so it becomes différente. So masculine différent, feminine différente. If you want the plural version, you just add an s to those both forms. So ancien, ancienne means old, former. So for instance, ancien as ancient, so an old building, il est ancien. And as well when we're saying former as my former teacher, mon ancien professeur, it's my former teacher. So it's not necessarily an old guy, but it's just old in time. So it was before, so it was former, it's your former teacher. If ancien it's before the noun, then it means former. If it's after the noun, it means old. So une voiture ancienne, an old car. Mon ancienne voiture, my former car. So we're gonna talk about that in another video about adjectives, but just understand that for now. Différent, different, no problem. Different. Then we have la nuit, the night, no problem, la nuit. Then we have le plaisir, the pleasure, so like in English, if you have pleasure, le plaisir. Then le départ, the departure, so like a train or anything that departs, so le départ. Le droit, be careful, it's not droite. À droite, it's on the right. À gauche, à droite, this is le droit, which is the right. So think about the human rights, or the idea of law, for instance. So if you study law, you study le droit in French. So the University of Law is Université de droit. So le droit is the idea of right as the law, the legislation. So this idea, yeah? Le droit. So don't pronounce the last T here. La terre is the earth. So it's either the soil, the earth, and the planet Earth as well. So la planète Terre, it's planet Earth. Our planet, la planète Terre. Or the soil on which you can plant something. So the earth. Then we have la place. It means the square. Be careful, it's a false friend. A lot of you, I'm sure, are making this mistake. It's a very, very famous mistake. Don't, please. It doesn't mean the place in English. A place in English, it's another word in French. La place, it means a square. So think about your square in your city. In my city is Trafalgar Square, for instance. This is une place. If I'm talking about the cinema, it's not une place. Un cinéma, it's not une place. Une place, it's only a square. Une place, la place. La place can mean the room as well. So if you got room, you've got la place. So you got room in your room, for instance, in your bedroom you've got room, so il y a de la place, place. And to finish, le bois, the wood. So either the material, so it's made of wood, le bois, or a small forest, un bois, like in English you would say a wood. So a small forest, a wood, bois. Okay, well, see you in the next part.
Utilisation.
Hi guys, so now is time for to use them in context. So we're going to use these words in context. These are my sentences, not necessarily, once again, not necessarily the best sentences, some sentences, using the words of today plus the words we saw on the first video. So we recycle a bit the vocab, yeah? So my first sentence is mes fautes disparaissent. So mes fautes disparaissent, my mistakes disappear. So mes fautes disparaissent. Then is tout le plaisir est pour moi. So literally all the pleasure is for me, which means pleasure in mine in English, or my pleasure. So when someone says, oh, thank you very much, you're saying my pleasure. You could say in a very formal French, tout le plaisir est pour moi, all the pleasure is for me. Then we have j'ai le droit de sortir la nuit. I have the right to go out by night. So j'ai le droit de sortir la nuit. Using avoir here, avoir le droit de, to have the right to do something, yeah? Infinitive after here, so de plus infinitive, sortir. Then we have la place Stanislas est très différente la nuit. So it's the square Stanislas, the Stanislas square is very different by night. Différent, it's in the feminine form here because we have la place, which is feminine. So what is different? The square, so it's feminine word, so here it's feminine. And Place Stanislas, if you don't know this square, it's a very, very nice square in the city of Nancy. So check it online, it's beautiful, beautiful square. So la place Stanislas est très différente la nuit. It's very different by night. Then we have c'est un bois très ancien. So it's a very old wood. So a very ancient wood, very old wood. C'est un bois très ancien. Then we have tu rends l'argent à Marc. So you give back the money to Mark, so you give Mark back his money. Okay, so he gave you some money, you give it back. Tu rends l'argent à Marc. And my last sentence is here. Le départ du train est à 18h. Il suit le train de 17h. So the departure of the train is at 18 hours, so 6 o'clock. Il suit le train de 17h. Suit is the verb suivre, to follow. So it follows the train of 17 hours, so 5 o'clock. So the departure of the train is at 6, it follows the trains of 5, so the 5 o'clock train. Yeah? Okay, these are my mistakes. As usual, I'm waiting for you to comment, in your comment, to put your sentences, and see you next time. If you want, just last thing, if you want to check the whole list, then go on to my website, easytolearnfrench.com. I'm gonna post the whole list of the words that we are using, so it's going to be maybe easier for you to know what words we have been using so far, and plus the whole list. Okay, au revoir!